Heat 2 of the Winning Appliances Slam World Championships, and once again we saw Channel 7 get off to a flying start.
They have cleared out, got a substantial lead at the top end of the course for the first time. Very close here between Club Marine and Schmeg. Schmeg now rounds in second position. Club Marine is third. Asco rounds in fourth position. Okay, a big incident here. That was clearly a port and starboard between Thurlow Fisher Lawyers and Macquarie. Thurlow Fisher rounds in fifth position, Macquarie is sixth, but that was a clear port and starboard, and the boys on Thurlow Fisher took absolutely no notice of Macquarie. Around now in about eighth position is Slam DeLonghi ninth. Great contest here for third and fourth between Asco and Club Marine. Looking as though Schmeg, just emerging, is going to be in second position at the bottom end, and they've made ground on 7, no question about that. Race closing up as we get down towards the bottom end of the course for the first time. Schmeg making territory. She's second, Asco is third, Club Marine is fourth. Great contest between Asco and Club Marine for third and fourth. Omega Schmeg, beautiful jibe on board the Omega Schmeg, and she's certainly putting some heat on the 7 boys now. She's made up plenty of territory, and you've got Trevor Barnabas, the old fox.
And after the first downwind, we could see Channel 7 rounding the bottom mark in first place, and they've really stamped their dominance on this series.
In this race, again, Trevor Barnabas was very, very close to them throughout the early part of this race, but as they come back up onto the breeze at this stage with Asco in third position there, you could see that Schmeg did not have the speed to match 7 going up into the breeze.
Channel 7 often made a lot of distance going upwind during the regatta, and this is one of those times you can see the speed really makes the difference.
Here are the combatants from the top end of the course. From the live commentary, we said how there was a big port and starboard confrontation between these two, and they're still at it at the bottom end of the course. And then there was a bit of chaos at the bottom end as the likes of Rag and Famish and these other skiffs came in. But look at this second heat, and Fiat, the other major contender, right out of it and struggling.
Fiat's come back into this somewhat. John Winning still got his chute up, and he comes round the bottom mark with chute still flying. Kind of caring to all sorts of trouble. There's a capsize out to our left here. Oh, there's another capsize out to the left. Oh, there's mayhem at the bottom end of the course. And there's going to be a lot of untangling to happen here today, ladies and gentlemen.
And Gotta Love It 7 went on to win that race. Omega Schmeg was second, and thus after 2 races, they are placed first and second in this series. Asco is third.
And now we'll hear from Adam Beashel, skipper of Club Marine. At this stage in the regatta, he's placed fourth, and this is his first World Championship skippering an 18-foot skiff.
For us, if we can get on top of our starts, I think our advantage is maybe just a little bit of foresight on the racetrack. Sometimes there's a few more obstacles in your way than a normal racetrack. In America's Cup, you've only got one other yacht to deal with, and there's not a spectator boat within cooee of the race course, so you feel their wash, but you don't have to worry about Joe Blow cutting across in front of you halfway down the run. Luckily, so far, we've stayed upright in all our racing, and it's a credit to us as a new team getting together. It's the first time that all 3 of us or any 2 of us have ever sailed together. Truly believe a top 5 is well achievable. A top 3 would be nice. And anything above that would just be icing on the cake.
Another former World 18-foot skiff champion racing in this regatta is John Harris on board the Rag and Famish. He's optimistic about his chances, but at this stage, he's struggling.
Michael Coxon, Aaron Links and Nathan Ellis have won this the last 2 years, and in my eyes, they're the favourites going into it. Guys on 7 have been very impressive this season, won a majority of the races. They've got good boat speed, great boat handling, and put in a lot of time and effort, and they'll be really hard to beat. Asco with Hugh Stoddard's had a lot of top 3 places and is probably due to win the regatta. 7 and Fiat are the guys that we're aiming at. They've set the standard, so they're the ones that we've probably been thinking about. So we'd love to beat them.
Heat 3 was sailed in soft easterly conditions, and it gave the chances some boats to come through that haven't been at the top of the fleet before. But as always, it's a lot to do with the start you have.
7 there immediately poked their nose out in front, Jack, and looked good, although Macquarie was also very fast out of the blocks, and Fiat were up in this race early as well. But at the top end for the first time, Seven had once again established themselves at the lead, and of course race 3 they've already won 2. Someone simply had to make a statement in this race, otherwise it was going to be all over.
That's right, someone really had to step up and challenge Channel 7.
Now, it was interesting that the rookie crew on Panasonic had a great race in Heat 3, and the boys on Macquarie had gone so well early, but at the top end for the first time they were out of it. But as the race developed, guess who appeared on the scene? It was Michael Coxon and the boys on Fiat, and here's a pivotal moment in the race. They jibe at the top mark, immediately go out to the left, and in the background you'll see that the Gotta Love It 7 guys, they continued out to the right. That gave Fiat the opening in this crucial third race, Jack.
A very risky move by Channel 7, allowing the boat behind to split, and you can see at the bottom that Fiat has come out ahead.
So at this stage, they're 2/3 of the way through the race, and Fiat now in the lead. Now, we're anticipating, of course, that 7's bullet-like boat speed is going to serve them well. But in this work to the top end of the course for the last time, Michael Coxon and his crew sailed superbly and managed to not only hold their lead, but open up their lead on Gotta Love It 7.
And it may have been these different conditions that Michael Coxon preferred, but he definitely had the speed upwind.
This is the Fiat crew setting the chute to head down towards the bottom end of the course for the last time. And here's the skiff that really surprised everybody. The youngsters on board Panasonic, they came bolting through the fleet in the light conditions. Very light crew, big sails, lots of gear. They've barely finished races in many times this summer, and here they are up into third position and having the day of their lives. At the end of the day, in this race 3 though, it was Michael Coxon showing why he's a 2-times world champion and why he was still absolutely in a position to threaten in this series. Even though he'd had those first 2 really bad races, Jack, the victory in this third heat really gave him a chance.
Yes, this was a very important race for him to take him back towards the top of the points table.
Now, of course, it's not enough just to win this race, because 7 came through in second position, so Sevi Jarvan did what he had to do. They were all talking pre-series about the fact you've got to finish up in the top 3 all the time. Fiat, of course, got a 6th and a 7th in the first 2, so they still had a lot to do. Whereas Sevi Jarvan, he won the first 2 and he was second in the third, so he was still had his hands around the throat of the championship and was going to be very difficult to beat. But the victory by Fiat did break it open somewhat.
And in third place, Panasonic. Very exciting for them to be up the front end of the fleet, and you can see as they come across the line, they're really stoked with that finish.